Welcome back to CNN, where we cut through the mainstream BS and actually try to get to the real context of the news. Okay, so starting off here, we've got a Bible prophecy is coming true as claims billionaires build huge underground bunkers. Okay, so Facebook boss Mark Zuckerberg is the latest billionaire to build a bomb-proof bunker, as podcaster Christina Randall claims some of the world's richest appear to be fulfilling a biblical prophecy. Some of the richest men on earth are building a doomsday bunkers in a move that was predicted in the last and most dramatic book of the Bible, according to the leading podcaster. Okay, so they know something's coming, whether it be war, whether it possibly be this comet Apophis everybody is talking about. Okay, um, and they're preparing. You know, it's super doomsday, and everyone hates to touch on this. But at what point do we listen to what these people are doing? Okay. They're all getting ready. I mean, an insane amount of celebrities right now are building bunkers. Not only Zuckerberg. Okay. The Kardashians have built bunkers. I just heard of some famous rapper. I can't remember his name off the top of my head. Who just built a bunker. Okay. Um, and everyone's getting ready. Everyone feels it in the air. Something's coming. What that is, no one really knows. It's really hard to speculate on the matter too, honestly. It could be war, it could be nukes, it could be a comet. Who knows at this point? Okay. So really right now, I feel like everybody should be getting focused on food, water, bullets, ways to protect yourself. If somebody tries to take your stuff, protect your family, okay? Know how to use said weapons. Obviously, we are not in the class of people that can actually afford to make a bunker. Okay, nobody can. Let's be real. And if you can maybe make a small bunker that you could stay in for 4 or 5 days before you guys all lose your minds and turn on each other. Okay, so it's just not an option, right? A lot of people are looking into possibly trying to get out into pieces of land out in the middle of nowhere, right? I know that's what me and my family want to do. Unfortunately, it's not a possibility, but I would say that's probably your best bet right now. So just keep that in mind while we're going through this article. Definitely take this as advice. If the elite are doing it, you should be doing the same thing. Okay. So it has recently emerged that Facebook boss Mark Zuckerberg, currently ranked fourth on the Forbes billionaire list, has spent $187 million on a 1,600-acre patch of land in Hawaii. He's now reportedly building a luxury ranch, including a 5,000 square foot underground bunker, complete with its own energy and food supplies. The bunker beneath Zuckerberg's Kulu Ranch is expected to feature a giant metal door filled with concrete, a feature typical of nuclear bomb shelters. Sorry. And then, of course, we're getting the imagery of a comet possibly hitting Earth. And man, I've been hearing a lot about this comet Apophis and some about the Russians trying to stop it. So who knows what's going on there, right? Okay, so let's go and continue on here. So, podcaster Christina Randall claims that Zuckerberg's bunker is just the latest of around 15 doomsday shelters being built by billionaires around the globe. 15 people right there, okay? Everyone's getting ready. You need to start doing the same. It is definitely very interesting that they're choosing to build something that sounds like it could be fully self-sustaining, especially if something catastrophic happened to the world and it was no longer habitable, she said. Why not just build a regular old mansion or some kind of commercial facility that could generate Zuckerberg even more money? She stressed this building is definitely not cheap. It is estimated to cost over $270 million, and it looks like this is going to be the largest private personal construction project in human history. We're talking about over $250 million. I guarantee you this guy right here, old Bezos, he's probably got something that smokes it. He's just a little bit smarter than dumb Zuckerberg and didn't get caught, right? I mean, he was building something down in the Four Corners region. That's something that, like, it was an atomic clock, right? That could keep the time for thousands of years after the fact. Suspect? Why would he even need to build that? That doesn't even make sense, right? Like, that is and when you're looking into this clock and seeing how perfect and how accurate and how much money it cost, it really, like, why would you drop this type of cash on an atomically correct clock? What is the reason behind that? I mean, possibly so he could keep time while he's in his doomsday bunker. I know that sounds ridiculous, but I don't understand why someone's dropping cash on something like that, right? Anyways, moving on. She pointed out that a lot of the wealthiest people in the world are starting similar projects. She added that it's no coincidence that Hawaii was the site of a terrifying nuclear false alarm in 2018. Pause. That no one talks about. And if I don't know if you guys remember this, but the guy who hit the button adamantly swore after the fact that it was not a false attack. Okay? And that he was ordered to hit that button. And they made it sound like this dude dropped a pencil and then accidentally slapped a button. Then we look into this further and we figure out that, oh, it's like a 15-step process for you to trigger this button. Okay? It just doesn't, you don't just knock into it and, oh, it went off. Oops, sorry, right? It's deliberate. The man had to take action to get this set up, and they threw him under the bus. So what? Obviously, they probably stopped whatever was coming. Okay, but thank God they did. Honestly, that could have been really bad. I remember seeing images of parents putting their kids in sewers. I mean, just unbelievable footage coming out of there at the time. Okay, so moving on. Okay, so we've got. Okay, when all television, radio, and mobile networks were interrupted to warn locals of incoming North Korean missile threats. The alert ended with the statement that it's not a drill. For over half an hour until clarification was issued, the islands were in complete panic. There were people that were putting their children in holes and they didn't know what to do, Christina said. I'm not going to lie, I don't pre-read these articles, so I had no clue that was coming up, but anyways, and then there were some people that got their lawn chairs and just sat out front because they thought that how can we hide from this? I mean, really, that's probably what everybody else is going to do, right? I mean, just like when I lived in Oklahoma, if there's a tornado coming, everybody hung out on the porch and just watched it. Like, if it's going to hit, it's going to hit. What are you going to do, right? So, with the threat of the nuclear war higher than it's been in decades, and with the climate change feeling even more regional and global conflicts, humanity is experiencing a moment of historic danger, according to the Bulletin of Atomic Scientists, with their doomsday clock standing at just 90 seconds to midnight, which I think this doomsday clock is a bunch of BS and it's about keeping people afraid. It is their strongest effect that they utilize against us in the long run, right? Anytime that they can amp up the fear levels and control people and maybe get some in their body and then ridicule them because they did or didn't do that thing, right? They're gonna do it. All right. Any chance. What did that one guy say? Don't let a good what was that? What was that comment? Don't let a good catastrophe go to waste, right? Always utilize that event. All right. So these people, their mindset is about stoking fear, is about creating fear, and then using it against you to get their way. Okay. So, all right. So moving forward here, Zuckerberg is not the only one spending millions on what appears to be the way out of the world. The way out if the world ends, Christina added. Jeff Bezos spent $147 million when he bought 2 mansions on Indian Creek Island in Florida. The smaller Hawaiian island of Lanai, which is off the coast of Maui, is now almost completely owned by billionaire Larry Ellison. New Zealand, which is definitely considered to be an ideal place to wait out the apocalypse, is now full of bunkers for tech elitists. Think about how good of a spot Hawaii is, right? I mean, that's choice. These islands are like, like, let's say they did something where they think maybe the population would try and come after them. Wouldn't you want to be on an island, not on the mainland, right? A little bit harder to get you then, right? So she even cited the biblical book of Revelations, which predicts the end of the world. Revelation 6:15 says, the kings of the earth, the princes, the generals, the rich, the mighty, and every slave and every free man hidden caves among the rocks of the mountains, she said. They called to the mountains, and the rocks fall on us and hide us from the face of him who sits on the throne, from the wrath of the Lamb. A lot of people believe that these billionaires are building these giant bunkers as a sign. Okay, so who knows? I mean, we've thought for a very long time that the end was now and that God was coming back, right? I pray that it is that event, right? Over everything else, right? But when I look at it from a statistical standpoint, I mean, every war we've thought this, every World War II, World War One, we've all thought this, right? So the chances are, as much as I hate to say it, probably not going to happen. Now, with that being said, nuclear threats, comet apophis, the plagues on the land, and these can all be directly correlated with the Bible, right? Like, just because it's an event that's not in the Bible doesn't mean that it's not the wrath of God, right? So, just want to touch base on this real quick with you guys. If you have any thoughts, go and leave them in the comment. And then, if you are watching this, a subscribe would be greatly appreciated. So, you guys have a good rest of the day. Alrighty, bye.